Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Welcome once again to Dork Duck Daily, the show with all the newsy nerd, all the extra trimmings. Um, this is the Thursday solo show that will continually not get the breath of figuring out what exactly it's going to be for a minute. Um, it's going to be the Thursdays Just Jeff show. We know that much about it. We know it's going to be Lena-less. Um, and we've tried to be like, what if we just don't stop streaming? What if that's the plan? And then all sorts of things have happened this week. It's the kids have a half day. What holiday or whatever you ask, do they have a half day for? I don't know. They just do. um Mike says hello advert, but hello, I'm so sorry. I tried to do things around that. Usually I try to start up like 10 minutes before and run ads, but I was late this morning. And it was my fault this morning. I was sitting out on the couch and Selena made me breakfast and I was sitting and eating it, and then we were just sitting and watching a thing. Imagine being late, right? It's usually not my fault. Say it was. Because I was like, I'm really enjoying just sitting here next to Selena and watching a show and snuggling. But good morning, Mike. Good morning, Sam. But yeah, my kids have a half day today. I don't know why. That means that it's like this has it's probably it's who knows it. We block out till 11 because it's like it feels like the show kind of wants to be that long, especially when there's two of us here. It doesn't have to be that long, but today it can't be longer than that. That's a hard line, because with us still like utilizing just one car right now, one of us has to get to the shop so that the other one of us can then go pick up the kids, because the kids need to get picked up about the same time that the shop opens up. And then the kids have to get here, and then back to the shop, whatever. It's just life's just going to be like, and then a week from Saturday is Free Comic Book Day, which is my biggest day of the year. And guess how much I have done in advance of that right now? um 7 ads, Mike says. Sam says it was a 3-minute button to stop ads for an hour. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. Sam says I am on the last stream of January 2023. Sam says just tell the nerds tariffs made the free comics went down. Well, no, so we do a bunch of stuff to make sure that it's like that it's a I always want it to be like a good day for like the people that just come in, get the free comics and go, right? But then also like it's a lot of traffic, right? And we need to make some money. And so I try to make the sales and the thing that makes sense, and try to make it like the big exciting fun day of the year. Like I try to make it a cool exciting thing, right? Um and so we do like booster packs, which are like basically mystery comic packs that have like 1 through 5 of things in them, right? Or like 4 comics in order, and then some of them are like, and this had $100 comic in it. Oh my gosh. It's like, but that's all stuff I got to make up and wrap and take care of all those things, right? Mike says I watched every single one of them for you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Thank you. Uh it's a whole thing. And I've got a lot of work to do. So even if everything else with life makes it so that I could be sitting around supposedly streaming Nintendo 64 games next week, I can tell you it's not going to happen next week. So there might not be a half day, but I'm going to be sitting there going, But Sam says he's on the last stream of January 2023. That's very exciting. That means you're getting ever closer to March of 24, which is when we met. Sam said it's been so long. We got to start the Nintendo 64 list over. No, please no. What's gonna happen first? Mike's A through Z challenge or my A through Z Nintendo 64 challenge? What's happening first? All right. Oh, Sam, did I miss you in this chat or another chat saying that you watched the new Black Mirror episodes? Sam says Mike ditched the challenge for Oblivion. Oblivion's really good. I would also like to just be playing that. Like that's, yeah, it was 2 days ago. Okay. I'm so bad at was that first episode not the most Sam thing ever? I couldn't tell if you would come out of that episode horrified and sad or like that was a really good episode or both. Let's see, the first one or the last one? It's back today. Calm down, Sam. What's back today? Oh, the A through Z challenge. Whatever was the top of the list. Where was the top of the list? The one with the wife that gets the unconventional brain operation. That's the one I was talking about. It was a very Sam episode. And we were talking and I was like, make sure before you lose Netflix you at least watch this episode. Mike says you come out of every episode of Black Mirror sad and depressed. That's why we watch it. There's some that you don't though. Sam said it was fucked and I hated it, but yes, I would do the same to take care of Shiki. Yeah, that episode was incredible. But yeah, that's often Black Mirror. I think Black Mirror is the best version of the Twilight Zone since the Twilight Zone. That is my probably not very hot take, but since like the original black and white Rod Serling Twilight Zone, where they were just like packed with like absurd talent and just like name after name after name of like some of the most important sci-fi writers of all time were writing episodes. Like that whole stretch of stuff, like, and they've tried so many times to bring the Twilight Zone back to do shows like it. You even had in the 80s Steven Spielberg's amazing story, and it's like it's always just been meh. They've never quite captured that feel, that like thing of like, hey, we're gonna get in, we're gonna get out, we're gonna make you think about some shit, and we're gonna leave you in a place of like, ugh. And it's gonna be really good. And they did it really well then in the 1960s, I think it was when Twilight Zone was on. And Black Mirror does it really, really well. And then everything in between has kind of just been meh. Cheeky says, good morning, nerds. Good morning. Welcome in, Cheeky. Sam says Black Mirror shows us all the tech red flags and we still just go towards it. Consequences be damned. That is the interesting thing about that show, is it's been on for about 10 years and we're in some ways past some of the things that it was like, maybe we shouldn't fuck with this, and we just slowly march toward it. Sam says, I like Twilight Zone more than Black Mirror. Interesting. When I was a kid, every New Year's Day, the Sci-Fi Channel would just play Twilight Zone all day long. They would just, and it was my favorite day of the year. It was great. Shiki says my sugar burn blister popped in my sleep, I think. Is that a good thing? Does it hurt less post-pop? Sorry, sugar burns are the fucking worst. Mike says gross. He doesn't like hearing about your sugar burns, but I welcome it. I welcome blister talk. Um, Post pop after soda. uh, yeah. Does it feel better post pop after soda? Um, all right. We don't just talk about blisters and Twilight Zone on this show, although maybe we should. We also cover all the news you nerd. We have a whole segment for it, called the Daily Quack. Shiki says, yeah, it feels a little better. Just kind of annoyed it happened while I was asleep. LMAO. Are you a hopping enthusiast? Are you one of those people that sits around and watches videos of things being popped? Sam says post pop after soda would be an excellent band name. It would be. And everyone would just call him post pop. Sam said you missed Elvis while you were asleep. He bit me playfully. Outdoor cats are the best. All right. Bethesda just gave a touching gift to the Sky Oblivion following Oblivion Remaster's launch. This is from Joshua Robertson at The Gamer. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered was real after all, announced and released earlier today. Potentially millions of people are already revisiting Cyrodiil and getting a healthy heaping of nostalgia for their efforts. Among those people are potentially the modding team for Sky Oblivion, the fan-made Oblivion remaster that has admittedly had the wind taken out of its sails a bit thanks to this release. Thankfully, those behind the Sky Oblivion have taken it in stride, promising that the release of the official remaster hasn't changed anything, and that Oblivion fans will be able to enjoy their take on a remaster/remake later this year. In fact, they could get some inspiration from the remaster, as Bethesda has taken every single member of the team with rather a wholesome gift. This is a post from the Sky Oblivion team that says, huge thanks to our friends at Bethesda Studios for their continued support of Sky Oblivion. As massive fans, we're beyond grateful for the generous gift of Oblivion Remastered game keys for our entire modding team. This means so much to us. Thank you for everything, Bethesda. Earlier today, the Sky Oblivion Twitter account revealed that to celebrate the release of Oblivion Remastered, Bethesda gifted the mod's entire team free game keys as a show of generosity. They go on to thank Bethesda for its continued support of the project, and that the gift means so much to us. If you ever thought there was bad blood between Bethesda and the Sky Oblivion team, that just shut down those ideas pretty firmly. It's also nice to see a massive developer like Bethesda actively encouraging fan-made projects like Sky Oblivion instead of shutting them down like the majority of other publishers out there. Bethesda probably had a decent excuse to go after Sky Oblivion now that we know that Oblivion Remastered is a thing, but instead it's chosen to support them instead. Fortunately, the same can't be said about Oblivion Remastered itself, as it was confirmed earlier today that the game does not have official mod support. Of course, that's never stopped modders from making things before, but it does mean making mods for the game will be more difficult, and that the mods on consoles won't be happening. You probably have to wait a while before you get to run around Cyrodiil as Shrek. Sam says about the outdoor cat Elvis. He's never bit me at all, so it kind of threw me when he grabbed my arm and bit at my hands. Shiki says, I'm a chronic picker, lol, but I kept rubbing my finger on it and now I can't. No. You did just put a band-aid on it. Then you get the texture of like rubbing your finger on the band-aid. Fine. Look at a thing. That's super amazing to me that you have a game company that's just like, yeah, no, cool. I'm glad you guys were doing this. Yeah, this secret's out. We were doing this too, but here you go. Here's a bunch of game keys. Enjoy. Then says, okay, Bethesda, fine, we get it. You're good people. I'll buy your remaster. The remaster's good. I've had a great time. I'm trying to remember, Dylan, is your thing no fantasy, or is your thing no space? I remember one of those two things you're just like, no, that's a non-starter for me. But I don't remember if it's fantasy stuff or space stuff. Cheeky says, I'm sad I missed Elvis, but not sad I missed the biting. Dylan says, no space, give me all the fantasy. If you've never played Oblivion before, there's a reason I was out there. Like, I was like, no, guys, Skyrim's good, but the stuff in Oblivion's so much better. Because it had to be. Like, the graphics and the gameplay portion wasn't what Skyrim could be, so they had to lean into the writing harder to make it more compelling. And now you kind of get the best of both worlds. It's great. Plus Patrick Stewart, Sean Bean. It's like it's great. Mike says Bethesda farming good karma before they release Elder Scrolls 6. Mike says, how you getting along with Oblivion? I woke up in the middle of the night Tuesday night, I just wanted to play it, and it was downloading, and I couldn't get it to download fast enough. And then I went to sleep, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and it was one of those that I should have like woken up, eat, and gone back to bed. And I was like, what if I just stayed up and played Oblivion? So I played Oblivion from like 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then I had a terrible day all day yesterday because I didn't sleep. And also I've had a big work day, and I wanted to be playing Oblivion during it. But I had a great time. I went, did the first Oblivion Gate, did all that. It's that game is so good because it's like all the like silly high fantasy stuff. Skyrim's really wintry and Norsey. So if you like really Norse Viking stuff, I get why Skyrim's your thing. But it's just traditional fantasy shit, but then it breaks out into a Doom game, with all the Oblivion gates and stuff. And suddenly you're like wandering around hell, and that shit's really cool to me. I like it a lot. Mike says, I feel like you need the nostalgia goggles on to enjoy it. I mean, I don't think that's true. But then again, like just the settings and everything of Oblivion are stuff that cater to my taste more than the settings and everything of Skyrim. Snoopy says, Jeff, we're not kids anymore. You can't do things like we did 25 years ago. Yeah, it was a whole day yesterday too of me being like, why am I so tired? Why am I? It's Selena just getting angrier and angrier. Like, why? But it was a great time. Yeah, just playing straight. And just everybody in the house is asleep, and I'm just having the best time. I was just, but then as is now, TikTok famous, my family came out and just started roasting my character, which I made a beardy dude with a bald head. What would make me make a beardy dude with a bald head? And they came out and they're like, all these choices, did you make something that repulsive? Oh my god. Mike says, if you go into Oblivion without prior knowledge of what it is, then you'd be like, what the fuck is this janky mess? Hard disagree. I think people get mad at this, so like, but I don't think Skyrim's a very, the writing and the setting of Skyrim I don't think is as compelling as the writing and setting and storyline everything of Oblivion. And sit down for this one. I think Morrowind's a better game than Oblivion, and it's not a nostalgia thing. It's just whatever brings you to game stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, look at this cool graphics and mechanics and stuff isn't what brings me to a game. It's the holy shit, this emperor just told me that this happened and I have to go over here, and then there's a literal like gate to hell that's open in this fantasy land. That's such a cool thing to cross like Doom aesthetics with like traditional fantasy aesthetics, and like, oh my gosh, and I can be whatever like kind of character I want, and it just get like that stuff is all what all for me. And Morrowind was and is so mind-blowing, and it's like the writing had to be really good because they didn't have like all the polish and like oh my god, and there's a dragon flying overhead. Sam says, Mike, do you play modern games? That sounds pretty standard. Mike says, I don't, Sam. I just play Skyrim. But no, in the days of old, when they couldn't do they couldn't do like as much flashy stuff as they can do now, in order to cut through the quest writing and stuff had to be really, really good. Because there was nothing else to the game but the quest writing, basically, right? If the quest writing was bad, Oblivion just doesn't work. But Skyrim can have bad quest writing, and in fact, like it often does, in the sake of like, now these quests can go on forever. You know, you get to the end of the Dark Brotherhood stuff, like the Dark Brotherhood quest in Oblivion is insanely like miles better than the one in Skyrim, to the point that like when I got to Skyrim, I like beelined it to the Dark Brotherhood because I was so excited to like see like, oh, what did they do with the Dark Brotherhood now? But the Oblivion one is so much better. And then it's a handcrafted story with a beginning, middle, and an end, and it does come to an end at some point. And then the Skyrim one is like, I don't know, there's a random generator thing, so I guess you can do these forever now. And it's like, okay, but that also means that none of these mean anything. Sam says, so after Nintendo 64, Jeff is starting an Elder Scrolls run. Now, if any, Mike says, I feel like Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild are the same story in Skyrim. That is true in Skyrim. I would say that is less true in Oblivion. Both the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood stuff in Oblivion is really good. And I'm so excited to see them again. It's that game's really good. What's this fucking Patrick Stewart? I'm always here for Patrick Stewart, Sean Bean, and I'd forgotten. I knew the Patrick Stewart one, and I was like, it's 3 a.m. I'm just like sitting there, should be sleeping, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Patrick Stewart. But then I'd forgotten Sean Bean was in that game. Fucking Boromir. So I'm just like sitting there, and then I was like, that's Sean Bean? Sure enough, it was. Game's really good. Huge recommend. Also, huge recommendation to studios do the thing where they're just like, hey, by the way, this game's out now. Like, we didn't have to go through 2 or 3 years of like, all right, another trailer for Oblivion Remastered, and then watching shitty dudes on the internet be like, I don't know, I'm all about Sky Oblivion, hashtag not my remake, or whatever, stupid people on the internet. But we didn't have any of those news cycles. We didn't have anything. They're just like, hey, by the way, this is out. Also, by the way, if you have Game Pass, you already got it. Just download it. Have a good time. Mike says, love a shadow drop. Yeah. Yeah, it's so smart. They need to start doing more and more of it because this whole super prolonged news cycle thing is a big part of what's killing games. It's crazy. Um, Important update on a story we've already covered on this here show. See if I can show this off. All right. 4 baby tortoises debut at Philadelphia Zoo, home to their nearly 100-year-old parents. Um, Sam says shadow drops require people not to leak shit. Well, yeah. This is from Associated Press. 4 baby Galapagos tortoises made their public debut. Look at them. Look at the babies. Look at them. Shiki says, yay, babies. Sam says, couldn't imagine being a mom at 100. To which Shiki says, couldn't imagine being 100. Sam says, I hope they name them after the Ninja Turtles. Look at them. They're so precious. It's amazing. They're offspring of the zoo's oldest residents, a female named Mommy and a male named Abrazo, a pair of critically endangered Galapagos tortoises who become parents for the first time at roughly 100. Mommy has been at the zoo since 1932, is considered one of the most genetically valuable Galapagos tortoises in the Association of Zoos and Aquarium Species Survival Plan. The zoo says she's the oldest first-time mom of the Western Santa Cruz Galapagos species. Look at them. They're such precious little guys. Look at their faces. I'm with you. I can't donate AP. I'm so poor. I think you getting kicked out of the White House was bullshit, but like I can't help you out right now. I'm sorry. But look at the turtles. They're eating the watermelon. That's Mommy, nearly 100-year-old Galapagos tortoise. The staff members holding Mommy. He looks really sassy here. Still says, can imagine being a mom. Mike says it's still pretty rough at 36. I just hit 38, and yeah, it's so much. Babies. She says, yeah, I did that. I might need to turn that into an emote. That's pretty amazing. Mommy center right and Brazo Galapagos tortoises. Oh, yeah, that just says the same sentence over and over. But yeah, the babies, they made their full like debut of being showed off to the public. I don't see names, Sam. I'm really sorry. But they should name them after the Ninja Turtles. I don't even know that they give genders at this point. That's what it looks like to be a 100-year-old mother right there. I'm not on my side. We're not on anyone's side. Yeah. Beautiful. Sam says being 100 would be neat. Okay, Morla. I don't know. I don't know that I want to be a 100. If I was 100, that would mean that I would live to the year 2087. I don't know that I want to see the year 2087. I definitely don't want to see the 2100s, which would be me being 113. No, that's other generations' problems. I don't want to see the problems change to new problems or the problems of this time get worse. I don't want to see either of those things. Sam says I want to be 200. Tiki says 2090 sounds scary, right? Sam says they could go out after a bicentennial birthday party. I think I want the Betty White thing where you get to 100 just about, and then everyone makes all these plans around your 100th birthday party, and it's like, I guess we gotta do it. We gotta do 100. We're not gonna do 100 birthday party. We have to do it. Like, all right, let's go. And then you just go out. Just as soon as like there's like, things that can be made that like don't have deposits, that have deposits on them that can't get back, right? Just all that planning, all that fuss. People are buying plane tickets, and then you're just gone. The Betty White strategy. Sam says Jeff wants to inconvenience his party planners for Lena. Well, it's really interesting because we had like two famous 100 birthdays, like kind of back to back. And one of them was Betty White, in which that's what's happened. They had, and it wasn't just her, it was also, and it was hilarious because of capitalism, right? And there were so many capitalistic things that were set that there's so many people that lost money on Betty White not making it to 100 because it was like they had magazine covers ready to go. They had all this stuff ready to, all the wheels of capitalism were about to be like, woo, she made it to 100. And she was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then we had Jimmy Carter, which was the exact opposite of like, he made it there and it was done. Dylan says, I'm going to upload my consciousness into a computer so I can continue making dumb jokes with misspellings on the internet morning shows for eternity. I appreciate that. Although I strongly recommend you play one of my all-time favorite games, called Soma, and then get back to me on that one. Because the thing you never think about with uploading your consciousness to the internet is that, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, and that's always what I've been to. But that makes a copy. The first version of you keeps going. And it is now to that copy. Yeah, it's like things never stopped. But Shiki says, "Oh man, I love Soma so much." Me too. It is up there in my favorite all-time games. It's so well written. Mike says, personally, I'd like to go out in a blaze of glory before I hit 50. That was kind of always what I thought was going to happen. That was the thing. Now I'm attached to someone I actually like and enjoy spending time with. Yes, it's inconvenient, really. Dylan says, I picture Jimmy Carter's handlers peeking in his room on his birthday morning going, shit, he's still alive. Run to Walmart and grab a cake or something quick. No, it was a full, like, we're bringing in, like, huge, like, bands. We're bringing in huge, and he could have, yeah, it could have happened that morning, right? Oh, man. It's, Blaze of Glory being me playing Skyrim again. So it's like Skyrim that gave, like, you're just, someone who just loves Skyrim, is that your game? The way I talk about things like Oblivion and Morrowind, like that's yours. I have a customer. It cracks me up every time I talk to him because he's just. It's been 10 years or longer now. When did Skyrim come out? 2011. So it's been like 14 years. And he's not really a video game guy. And his daughter convinced him to be like, you'll probably really like this game. And so he like started playing on her console. She's now moved on to like different consoles and stuff. But he's never stopped playing Skyrim. He's been playing the same game as Skyrim since 2011, 14 straight years. And every time I talk to, he's like this guy in his 60s. Every time I talk to him, he's like, I don't think I'll ever tire of that game. There's just so much to do. Like, yeah. And I'm always seeing new stuff. It's a comfort game for me. It is a game I have really good memories of. And then I think I probably could have found comfort in it if when I sat down, if there was a button that was like, hey, you want to just skip to like after the first hour of this game, and I could be like, yes. The way Stardew is just like, hey, do you just want to like, yep, all right. I think I could have used that with it. Sam said, can't imagine having one game that's more important than all the others. Hang on, I'm trying to find an excuse to stream through Hollow Knight for like the 7th time. I think it's been 3 times since I've known you, which has been just over a year. I think we're at 3 times of Hollow Knight. That was a joke, but I think that's right. 1 birthday, 2 April Fool's randomizer, 3 lore run, 4 randomizer, 5 hell randomizer, 6 deathless. Yeah, so it might be 4 times since if those were in order. Those must not be in order. Because I was around for the April Fool's, the hell randomizer, and the deathless. So it's been 3 times. They're in order? Okay, then, yeah. So April Fool's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 of them have been since you've known me in March of 2024. You have to finish this time. How does one finish Skyrim? That game just never ends. It's not supposed to. In the category of just fucking weird, because we were literally just talking about this yesterday. And when the news lines up like that, it freaks me out, honestly. 10 Things I Hate About You stage musical adaptation in the works with creative team including Carly Rae Jepsen and Lena Dunham. Shiki says at least finish the main story. Yeah. I quite often, though, in Bethesda games, get my get all my game out of the game without hardly touching the main story. I usually find the main story in Bethesda games to be the least of the interesting ones. Mike doesn't finish things. It's okay. He enjoys being a game tease. Since you do believe Phil Sparrow that he started a new save. Okay. Just my catches. All right. A new stage musical adaptation of the popular 1999 film 10 Things I Hate About You is being developed for Broadway with Carly Rae Jepsen and Ethan Gruska collaborating on the score. Elena Dunham and Jessica Huang at work on the book. It's wild that it was 1990. Yesterday when we were talking about it, Shiki called it, you know, a 2000s era movie. It definitely feels like a 2000s era movie. It does not feel like it came out in 1999. It hurts my brain a little bit. Shiki says it was before its time, to be fair. Yeah. But like I would not have, if you would have held a gun to my head and like, when does 10 Things I Hate About You come out? I would have never dreamt 1999. And 1999 might, it's one of those years in the running where it's like, it might be one of the greatest years in film. Someone said, hey, I just met you and this is crazy, but here's your script now. Memorize it, maybe. Fried Chopper, gotta get you out of here. Oh, that did go over to the oh, cool. All right, that was one of my important questions, which is, if we delete a message in Twitch, does it delete it everywhere else? And got to answer that question because it's still over in Restream. All right, I wonder if it's on the other thing. She says, yeah, I generally thought it was post 2000. I've watched it 100 times. Here is the insanity that is 1999. List of American films in 1999. This is just at the top. This is the top grossing, which even this, if you had to have like desert island films, like movies you had to watch, but Phantom Menace, Sixth Sense, Toy Story 2, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, Matrix, Tarzan, Big Daddy, Mummy, Runaway Bride, Blair Witch. So that's just the things that made the most money that year. But 1999 is just fucking insane. And it's just like thing after thing after thing where you're just like, holy shit, that was in 1999 too. That was in 1999 too. Jawbreaker, Office Space, Cruel Intentions, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, do Doug's first movie. Okay, I don't know about that one, but yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You, which is like up there in my favorite films of all time. Matrix, which is up there in my favorite films of all time. Mike says Lock, Stock is one of my favorite movies. Me too. Never Been Kissed, which is a film that has aged so gracefully and is not problematic at all. Fucking Election, The Mummy, The Mummy. Every bi person's favorite film, The Mummy, because everyone's so hot in it. I do like this version of Midsummer Night's Dream. Phantom Menace, which the older I get, the more I appreciate it. Notting Hill. This I was 12 when this movie came out, and so I was right down the barrel. And so I have an attachment to it that probably doesn't make a lot of sense. I was 12 when this came out, so I was in the jaded, I'm not here for cartoons, but man, is this an important film to Selena. Big Daddy, South Park movie. I think Wild Wild West is all right. I have appreciation for it. American Pie, Muppets from Space. The Haunting's not good, but it's a fun time. The fucking Iron Giant. Like 1999 is so packed. It's crazy. She Cheeky said, The Mummy, the classic 90s film that was a bisexual awakening of so many millennials. Exactly. They've said, wow, I went to add a mod note and that account is already suspended. That's incredible. Oh, I missed what... Still made a joke. I didn't even see it before you made the joke. I'm sorry. All right. Mystery Men. Mystery Men's great. Sixth Sense. Bowfinger's great. You could just watch movies from 1999 and like have a okay. This movie has one of my favorite gags. It's on the whole, it's fine. It's not as it was them trying to do George of the Jungle again, and George of the Jungle is better. But Dudley Do Right has one of my favorite gags of all time, which is like he rides through and he shoots in bullets DD on the wall, and then the bad guy is like, you know who did this? And all his goons just like for like an hour. The bit goes on so long, keep trying to guess who did it. Doris Day? David Duchovny. So good. Sam said Iron Giants scare me in Final Fantasy though. It said I saw the Iron Giant when I was like really little, but I don't remember like any of it. It's incredible. I mean, it's the same plot as like E.T. and all those things, but it's a very good version of that. It's so good. Sam said he said, but how will I know where to get the best shears or something? Yeah, I forget and make those jokes sometimes, and I'm like, oh yeah. He said, for sex sake, I didn't know this, and The Mummy came out in the same year. It's no, this year is just insane. But you'll find that just kind of lands that way sometimes. I mean, it doesn't get more classic than Elmo and Grouchland. Wait, hold up. Like I hear you reacting to Elmo and Grouchland. What if I told you it had Mandy Patinkin in it? Chewing up scenery. Hello, Elmo. My name is Mandy Patinkin. You came to my Grouchland. Killed my father, prepared to die. Here is do you think Mandy Patinkin and Eugene Levy fight over the best eyebrows in the business? Do you think that's here's images of Mandy Patinkin in Elmo and Grouchland. It's so good. It's so good. She said, "Oh, I watched Talk to Me and did a rewatch of April Fools. Forget how good it was. I Talk to Me is, I think, one of my favorite horror movies that came out last couple of years, and the fact that the whole thing works as like a whole analog of like drug addiction and stuff, it's pretty incredible." Also, I saw this in theaters. This is Drive Me Crazy. It's a 1999 American teen romantic comedy film based on the novel. I remember going to theaters to see this. I remember it had a different title, but they changed it to this so they could put the Britney Spears song with it. and that there is like a music video that went along with it. So there's like Melissa Joan Hart hanging out with Britney Spears. It's pretty great. Fight Club, 1999. Story of Us, which is like as I get older, it's from one of my favorite Rob Reiner films, but like it's one of those at the older that I get, the more I like it. Great story, very good David Lynch film. Yeah, 1999 is just this fucking. You could just be in John Malkovich. Princess Mononoke. Pokemon, the first movie. You could spend a whole lifetime just watching movies that came out in the year 1999. Toy Story 2, which I think to date is probably still the best Pixar film. Maybe. There's an argument for that. I'm trying to think of what I would say would be better than Toy Story 2. Fucking Girl Interrupted. Man on the Moon, Big T. Galaxy Quest. One of my all-time favorite movies. Yeah, it's an insane year, and I didn't even realize that 10 Things I Hate About You was on that list. Is when Cheeky said, classic 2000 cinema, 10 Things I Hate About You yesterday, I was like, yeah, exactly. But it's classic 1999 cinema, 10 Things I Hate About You is going to be a stage musical, I guess. Two-time Tony winners Christopher Wheeldon when he handled direction and choreography with Tom Knitt from Next Normal on music supervision, arrangements, and orchestrations. Mike Bosner will produce. 10 Things I Hate About You is a retelling of William Shakespeare's 1594 play, The Taming of the Shrew. And the film launched the careers of Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, showcasing a breakout performance by Allison Janney. The film became a generational touchstone with its keen insight into 1990s teen life as seen in a Seattle suburb. It's classic 20th century 10 Things I Hate About You, yeah. Casting and a production timeline for the musical is not announced. Jepsen launched a major music career with her 2012 hit Call Me Maybe. Jepsen landed a lead role in the 2014 Broadway production of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Later starred as Frenchie in Fox's 4-time Emmy Award-winning musical Grease Live. Also, as from someone who mostly listens to rock music that makes you sad and other music that makes you sad, y'all are sleeping on Carly Rae Jepsen. Like, it's not often that I'm like, you know what I feel like? Some fucking bubblegum pop. But do you know who's fucking killing it and just making all this bubblegum pop that's like really good, actually? Is Carly Rae Jepsen. It's just we're not in an era where like that stuff is like as popular as it once was. Because it's not club music, it's not like making it, but like I dare you to listen to Cut to the Feeling by Carly Rae Jepsen and have a bad day. There's just no way. You get in a car, you put in Cut to the Feeling by Carly Rae Jepsen. Call Me Maybe's whatever. It's been so like memed to death at this point that like the initial like quality of that song is just lost because it's like it's bubblegum pop. It's saccharine by design, and because we're all cynical assholes, like as soon as they do, you put a thing in a wishing well, blah, right? Like it's like our whole culture is designed to just take that and fucking destroy it. But like, let me tell you, Carly Rae Jepsen's fucking, she rules. I'm man enough to admit it. I'm man enough to admit that, like, I can listen to Cut to the Feeling in the car. Bump, 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 one time, bump, bump. And I'm having a good day. We're having a good day. We're listening to Carly Rae. Not everything needs to be, like, sad all the time. Like, one of those figures of, like, culture. It's like, what did she do to us? Oh, she tried to give us a smile. How dare she? The amount of memes I saw at the height of Call Me Maybe, that was just like, like, you put a wish in the well, and then it was like the girl from The Ring pulling her into the well from The Ring, and it was like, ha 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 ha, how dare she give us joy? Dunham is best known for creating the HBO series Girls, and this year she returns to television with Netflix rom-com series Too Much, which she wrote and directed and co-created with her husband Louise Felber, starring Megan Stelter and Will Sharp. Wang is a playwright and librettist whose work includes Mothers of Exiles, The Paper Dreams of Harry Lee Chin, Transmissions in Advance of the Second Great Dying. She has commissions with the Indiana Repertory Theater, Manhattan Theater Club, Timeline Theater, as developing an original television show with WBTV. Wheeldon directed and choreographed the musical version of An American in Paris, which had productions in Paris, Broadway, and London. Most recently, he directed and choreographed MJ the Musical, both winning 4 Tony Awards, including Best Choreography. Since its release in 1999, the film, with a screenplay by Kirsten Kiwi Smith and Karen McCullough, has been celebrated by critics and fans as one of the great high school movies. Ledger's performance as Frankie Valli and Bob Godila's classic Can't Take My Eyes Off of You in the film has become an inspiration for numerous marriage proposals and viral videos. Someone says, excuse me, when I hear my radio tell me that a fantastic Canadian threw a wish in a well, my volume skyrockets and windows go down. Okay, I appreciate you. Listen to Cut to the Feeling. Cut to the Feeling is so good. I'm learning. I don't know what I'm learning. Thank you for recognizing it, though. Do we hopefully the people that made the original film make some money off of this stuff? He says, Heath, yeah. Oh man. That's I will think about the lost extended careers of Heath Ledger and Brittany Murphy probably for the rest of my life, of just like what we could have had. I'm curious. Now that they mentioned the screenwriters, this is just not a movie. You think about it a lot. So the director, it was his directorial debut was 10 Things I Hate About You. He made that, then Black Knight, which is like not a good movie. I mean, it's fine. I remember the fire joke being funny, but it was also in the trailers. I have no memory of this. He was making 10 Things I Hate About Life, which got canceled. The canceled, unfinished American romantic comedy film directed by and written by Jill Gunner, starring Evelyn Rachel Wood. What the heck? How far did this get? Filming began in 2012, was interrupted after 2 months due to management changes in the production company in Wood's pregnancy. In late 2013, production was set to resume with an estimated wrap date of April 2014, though the filming schedule was delayed indefinitely after Wood's departure. The producers have sued her for $30 million for breach of contract. Her lawyers have responded that Wood was never adequately paid for the work she had already done since the production company ran out of money. Some production stills from approximately 30 minutes of footage have been released, but as 2021, the lawsuit is still ongoing, and the film is seen as unlikely to ever resume shooting. But yeah, it's been 13 years at this point. Is that how math works? That's crazy. Also, can you imagine, like, your first movie is 10 Things I Hate About You. You can't really get it going afterwards, and it's 15 years later, 12 years later, you're like, I'm gonna go back to the well. I'm gonna make a movie called 10 Things I Hate About Life, and then it falls apart. At least you get to make Think Like a Dog. This looks like an AI generated film. Nothing about this looks real. Not a single thing. Like, Megan Fox looks like she doesn't even know she's there. She's just like, what? Think Like a Dog is a 2020 American family sci-fi comedy film written and directed by Gil Junger. It stars Josh Duhamel, Megan Fox. Film's release. A 12-year-old text prodigy science experiment goes awry, and he forges a telepathic connection with his dog. The duo joins forces and uses their unique perspectives on life to comically overcome the... What? What is this movie?
With today's technology, we should be able to hear another person's thoughts.
It would be better if we had a human.
Henry's human enough for me.
3, 2, 1.
All right, when in the trailer...
When Oliver makes an incredible...
Oh, they have the narrator! They don't even do the narrator anymore! That's amazing! Alright. This trailer is 1 minute and 53 seconds. At what point did they say from the director of 10 Things I Hate About You? Because they have to. Or written and directed by the guy. It has to happen. Then says there's a joke there somewhere between 10 Things I Hate About Life and 13 Reasons Why, but I'm too busy to properly connect it. Fair.
Discovery.
Make way for the total package: brains, personality, and good looks.
Things will never
Oh,
be the
that's
same.
so bad.
Henry, I can hear what you're thinking.
You can hear what I'm thinking. Woo! You taste like a genius.
So all dogs can understand all humans.
Duh, but you can't tell anybody. That's checkmate, sucker. Are you talking to the dog? Nick Snay on the Ockingtay.
This science fair is big for you.
Good luck at the fair.
Now,
The dog voice and the jokes that the dogs are telling really seem like they were like, don't worry, we'll make a deal with like some comedian is gonna come in and that we'll just let them riff and do the we were like, we're in talks with Chris Rock. Don't worry, Megan Fox. Someone really funny and like big is gonna be the dog, and we'll convince like Chris Rock or someone to like come in and be like I'm the dog voice and I'm gonna make all the and they're gonna do their bits and we're gonna let them. So these are all just like stand-in jokes. It'll be funny later, and then they're like, oh, no one said yes. We have to go with we have to go with the assistant directors like off camera, like I'm a dog, ha ha ha.
he must make sure his new invention
This kid is special.
doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Oh my god. It works.
He did it.
I would do anything to acquire this technology. I fear for Oliver's safety.
Let us out! Let us out right now!
Sit. You sure you're not hungry?
Wait, what? No one said there'd be snacks.
They've got adventure
My human is in trouble and I need your help. Oh! didn't
Is
know you
that-
had an awesome-
Is the mean corporate guy? Is that the guy from Big Bang Theory, but glowed up with a beard? I think it is.
Sit. You sure you're not hungry?
Wait, what? No one said there'd be snacks.
They've got adventure
My human is in trouble and I need your help. Oh, didn't know you were having an awesome party.
down to a science.
We are gonna save all of them.
Gabriel Bateman, Kunal Mayer, with Megan Fox and Josh Duhamel.
We make a good team, Henry.
Think like a dog.
How'd you get so smart, Henry?
You smell as many butts as I have, you tend to pick up a few things.
Oh, that's so good. They never said from the maker of 10 Things I Hate About You. They just didn't even do it. This is Pete Davidson. Yeah, Pete Davidson's perfect example. Like, is Gabriel Bateman Jason's son? Could be. That was indeed the dude from Big Bang Theory. Who Forbes listed as the world's third highest paid television actor from 2015 to 2018, and now he's in a movie about a talking dog none of us saw or knew about. Oh, we're checking on the kid. Was Gabriel Bateman. I don't think so. Right, he's best known for starring in numerous horror films, including he's in Annabelle, he's in Lights Out, he's in the new Child's Play. No, it only relatives that list are his sister is Letha Bateman from the Middle and Annabelle creation, but not Jason Bateman's kid, sadly. They just used his name very confidently, so I assume. What I love is like there's no world in which, and this is not to disparage the talents, the voice talents of one Dylan Holt, but like in the world where like I know you and about 100 other people that could have do such a better dog voice than that. With like, hey, you want me to punch these jokes up a lot? It's really smell this many butts. Is that the best we got? Good morning, Soggy. Hello. We just found out an incredible film exists called Think Like a Dog. Robbed of an Oscar in 2020. Weirdly enough, as of October 21, the film holds a 70% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 10 reviews. All right. Starring the Gabriel Bateman. Oh, man. That's like there are so many movies that like just, there's this whole, some of it is I think that there was stuff already in the cooker while like people used to make so much money releasing just dog shit movies onto Redbox. And because there's this whole swath of the population that just doesn't really get internet, and still rents movies and still wanted to rent movies and still were renting movies from Redbox till Redbox got the same thing done to it as everything else, where it was like someone bought a profitable company and then they like basically took all the cookies out of the cookie jar and they're like, the cookie jar went bankrupt. This is what happened with Redbox. This is what happened with Toys R Us. It's what's happening right now with Joanne Fabrics. It just keeps happening. But there is all of these movies that were like primed to be like Redbox movies probably. And then now they were already like, "Yeah, we're gonna make all this money on Redbox. It's gonna be fine." But now there's no Redbox, and so they all have to go out, and they can make some amount of money on these video on demand services, and then they move from that to like the free services. But that was supposed to be all the stuff that they were supposed to get on top of having this period of time of being a Redbox release and actually making their money that way. And so they're just out here struggling. Like there's a Jackie Chan Panda movie. That also called Panda Plan. Which, who knows, might be the most incredible film ever made.
Okay, you're good to go.
100% fiber internet. It's everything I need for my golf.
I already pay you money. Stop advertising to me. Okay. This is Panda Plan. Maybe the finest film of our age.
Okay.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Jackie for adopting our very special little
Jackie Chan plays
panda.
himself. Because of course he does.
Can this movie star really fight? His kung fu is incredible. We'll see about that.
Gotta rescue a panda. Give me the panda, no one gets hurt. Panda Plan.
Just a friend, maker. I'm just a friend, okay? Let it go.
Does he still do his own stunts? Yeah, if he, I wouldn't be surprised. And the thing is, like, old school Jackie Chan, he's like one of the most incredible filmmakers and one of the few people doing some of the, like, Buster Keaton. There's like a line from like Buster Keaton to like Jackie Chan that's pretty incredible. In that early stuff. And then he gets over to America and they're like, yeah, we don't want to make movies that way. So like, can you just be here and sit next to Chris Tucker while he's racist? Sounds good. Sam says older people are more fragile. They can't take falls the same way. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, I would imagine he's doing less, but who knows?
Welcome to the party, pal.
A Dewbeard has rated us.
Thank you so much for the raid, Addo. Welcome in. So I'm here twice now. You guys missed. We were just watching a trailer for Jackie Chan in a panda movie because that's the kind of important news we cover here. Howdy, Jeff and chat. Hello, Addo. Welcome in. Thanks so much for choosing us to raid to. Addo is one of our favorite people. If for some reason you are not following Addo, please go do. Asagi says, a Dewbeard. Yes. How is Kingdom Hearts? Let us know. Let us know how that's going. I know Sagi's been doing an unending amount of Kingdom Hearts lately too. Yeah. Are you winning everything with the power of friendship? If for some reason you don't know me, my name is Jeff. This is Dork Duck. This is our morning news show. Often is me and my partner Lena doing this. Thursday nights we do video game streams. But otherwise we just kind of hang out here and talk about the news before I have to go open a comic shop. Addo says it was good. I've always enjoyed diving back into that universe. Sam says follow Addo or I will ban you. Yes. Reza Edwards says finally internet news source I can trust. Exactly. we started covering. They're making a 10 things I hate about you stage musical, which led to us looking at every movie that came out in 1999, and then I went to look at what the writers of 10 Things I Hate About You had been doing since, because they mentioned them in the article. Looked at the director instead, saw their career that has not gone well, and 10 Things I Hate About You was their first film, and then found out that they had a movie that came out a few years ago starring the Gabriel Bateman, mind you, about a talking dog. And we watched that trailer. It was not good. Maybe the laziest acting I've ever seen from Megan Fox, which is really saying something. And then that led to us, for some reason, watching the Jackie Chan. The real solid new show over here. Dylan said the only thing better than an actor playing themselves is an actor playing somebody that looks like the actor and is forced to be the doppelganger, a la Julia Roberts in Ocean's 25 or whatever. I believe that's Ocean's 12. And they spent a good hour being like, I think you look like... No, you actually do look like her. Sagi says, after Outer Wilds, I'm going to get back to my Kingdom Hearts series. Wait, Lazy Fact by Megan Fox, I'm in. Addo says you can trust Jeff with everything he says, especially about game opinions, because Addo and I... Okay, so there's this constant joke that Addo and I share a brain cell. It's built up so much insane lore. The fact that it's like we also like trade it back and forth, and that's why we sleep at different times, right? Which is like really funny to us. It doesn't really have to be funny to anybody else. But the other day I went to raid Addo, and Sam was like, hey, no, we can't rate, like Addo's also rating. And I was like, okay. So then we both rated out, and then we both rated the same place. But it was so completely random. It was so good. And that was like the second time that we rated the same place that week. And I think in both cases, neither of us knew that both of us were following that person. It was so funny. Sam said, I like how me and Jeff are slowly chipping away at Final Fantasy, and Addo's just like, hold my cheese. I'm doing all the FFs, Kingdom Hearts, and Mass Effect. Yeah. Addo said, in a fourth game on top of that too. Yeah. Yeah. All right. There was a trailer we were actually planning to watch today. Let me see if I can find it. It's supposed to be here somewhere. And I've lost it in all these other Panda trailers and stuff. There's a new Predator trailer though. I haven't watched it yet. Everyone kept asking me about it yesterday. I was like, I have a new show in which I watch trailers and things. So I'll do the Bloody and Disgusting article. That's fun. All right. Predator Badlands teaser trailer. You've never seen a Predator movie like this before. This is from John Squires at Bloody Disgusting. New Predator trailer. Oh, I love Chris Hansen. In addition to the animated anthology movie Predator Killer of Killers, the franchise will also return later this year with Prey director Dan Trachtenberg's Predator Badlands, which is exciting as fuck because if you have not watched Prey, looking at you, Shiki. I don't know. Maybe Shiki's watched Prey. Prey is incredible. That movie's so good. I'm not even the biggest Predator person. That movie is so good. It's great. I also have the Steelbook, and it's one of my most prized possessions. The newest entry in the franchise is set on a remote planet where a young predator, outcast from his clan, finds an unlikely ally in Thea, played by Elle Fanning, and embarks on a treacherous journey in search of an ultimate adversary. Yes, the main protagonist of the film this time is a predator. Like with Prey, Trachtenberg's goal with Predator Badlands was to push the franchise boundaries, allowing fans the opportunity to root for the Predator this time around. Predator Badlands looks like the biggest, craziest Predator movie we've ever seen. One that certainly pushes the franchise down a bold new path. Really never seen a Predator movie like this one before. There's not even an ounce of hyperbole in that statement. Oh, and make sure to pause the trailer at the 26-second mark and look closely for a special surprise. This is Prey. I'm not even really religious. Prey was incredible. Like, it's not even hyperbole. Like, please watch that movie. It's so good. Let's see this Predator Badlands trailer though.
I didn't think you survived.
I kind of miss the narrator from the dog trailer. If he could, like...
You're hunting something that can't be killed.
That's cool. They said pause the trailer at the 26-second mark. Yeah, so if you notice this is what I did see spoiled for me yesterday, is look at this, and if you look very closely at this image there, the alien from Independence Day is probably the thing that they are hunting, which is pretty cool. Which is itself a pretty cool, like, silly crossover nonsense stuff. Also, just that whole wall there is kind of amazing. But yeah, there's the Independence Day alien you see in the middle, and then yeah, it's exciting, cool stuff. It's neat. And also, yeah, if you, for some reason you haven't watched Prey, it was a direct to Hulu Predator film that was, hey, what if the Predator showed up when there was just Native Americans here? And they actually made a pretty incredible film. Like, it's like, that sounds like a pitch that's like, oh, that could be real insensitive real fast, but they you can actually watch the film in Comanche, I think it is the language that and they were like, they cast all people from that tribe. The movie's incredible. It's so good. It's one of my favorite Doggy says you have Disney Plus is included there. Okay. Yeah, I know Disney Plus and Hulu are kind of like all weirdly overlapping now. She said, sorry, we were trying to figure out what the problem is with our toilet. We learned that it's the float that's broken. So you said float broken, toilet now sink. Yeah, I love toilet technology so much, because you open that thing back there And it's just like a Rube Goldberg machine. Like, it's just like a bunch of things that you would see in, like, you know, the thing where we were watching movies as kids and it's like, he's a wacky inventor. And it's just like, I will not be washing my hands in there. Why would you wash your hands in the back of it? I'm confused. And always washing dishes. What? How did we start washing dishes? Because it's a sink. Oh, okay. I get it now. I was bad at picking up on that joke. Okay. Broken toilet, now sink. All right. Gotcha. Yeah, it's the technology back there is just like seems like something a wacky inventor from the 1800s would have done. It probably was, right? And it's weird. It is weird the amount that like everything in our life has to get like constantly reinvented. Like your phone that you got last year, garbage. You need this new one. Hey, your car that you got, the garbage. You need this new thing. It needs to be able to do this now. It needs the thing. Toilet technology has not really changed. It's just like, there's a thing that floats up, and when it floats up, it turns the lever. That's the thing. It's so like simple. It's great. Your fucking toaster's like, metal inside get hot. Toaster technology has not changed in 100 years. They're not trying to sell you a new toaster every year. Sam says toilet technology does change, does it? She says, well, I used the bathroom, and I was like, we can check it quick. And Tony and I were doing our best Minecraft villager impressions for a minute. And we were like, oh, hey, the float ain't floating. Sam said, have you ever gone down the rabbit hole of the automatic perfect toaster? No, I've not. And why they don't mass produce them. Edo says toilet tech in Japan, it's very different than the US. Yeah, in the US, it's just Soggy says toilet float used to be a ball on a wand. Now it's a floating ring on a pole. I guess that is true. Sam says we have invented so much better tech. No, man, new phones. New phones. Tell me why I need to buy a new phone this year. And next year. And the year after that. And the year after that. Sam says we have invented so much better tech, but companies want to keep you buying stuff again and again and again and again and again. Yeah. I'm very excited for this Predator movie. I'm more excited too that it's actually coming out in theaters, because that wasn't true of the last time around. Sam says I honestly want to get rid of my phone. Me too. I just don't. I've been trying to utilize it less and less, but like I don't know what. If I had a different job, I probably would. But I need the phone for the job. But yeah, I think about man, it would be nice to live a life that's like, and I've thought about getting one that I could just leave at work and like not having like a phone. Addo says, I'm stuck with my phone. Unfortunately, I needed to turn my hearing aids on because don't you love technology? Yeah, I didn't realize that till I had a customer come in and was talking about his hearing aids and how much of it is just, controlled from his phone. And how much they're just like Bluetooth now. And now hearing aid technology does seem like it's gotten really cool. And if everyone's going to have a phone in their pocket, why wouldn't you have it all go through an app and stuff, right? But then it's yet another thing that kind of like entraps us to these devices that it's like, okay, How could you live without one of these things? Sometime you're on my stream, I can break it down for y'all. Yeah, he was walking through it. It's interesting. Especially the way he could turn it up and down, and then also the way he could, when he's in like a big, like kind of crowded restaurant or something, he can switch it to a mode that basically doesn't take in it like filters out that sound and just plays like if someone's talking like right next to him, he'll hear it. But I thought that was really cool. I wish I had that option of just being able to just like isolate sounds and like change different, like that's really cool. But why wouldn't you make those kind of choices and stuff? Noise canceling hearing aid, yeah, it was neat. All the things he was telling me he can do. He was saying you could play music and stuff over it too, which is cool. But yeah, it's all tied to his phone. So like if he doesn't have a phone, he's screwed, which means he has to have a phone. Ada says the problem is that they have to make the app super, super simple, which also means that the flexibility is shit. Because while I can adapt to a complicated app for it, an 85-year-old who doesn't understand how the smartphone works needs a simple apps. Yeah. Saga says, oh, real question. Do you have Pokemon stuff at your shop? We have some. And we will have some cards on Free Comic Day, weirdly enough. Typically speaking, though, we often don't have Pokemon cards because, like, nobody does right now. The only reason I have some is I just bought some off of someone. Which means that we'll have them for Free Comic Book Day, which means we'll have some fodder to sell. But typically speaking, no one's been able to get a hold of packs. If Vince was here, he'd talk to you about it too, because his store does a lot more in that direction of like Pokemon cards and stuff. They can't get a hold of product right now. I train a Pip like this Saturday since you're like an hour out. That'd be awesome. I would love to see any Saturday. My recommendation would be to plan it a week from Saturday, so that you get all the Free Comic Day nonsense too. Because everything will be on sale and there'll be shit that's literally free. But also like that'll also mean crowds. So, but yeah, the first Saturday in May is coming up. Free Comic Book Day. Find a store if you're not local to Michigan and Rad Raptor Comics. Find a store that's local to you and go support them for Free Comic Book Day. It's a big giant nerd holiday every year. It's pretty great. It's always the first Saturday in May, and it's good times. But yeah, that's probably our show. Support local shops, nerds. Absolutely. By the way, so if you would like to support us, you can buy comics from us on Whatnot. There's a link right there. If you click it, it'll give you $15 free to buy from us or somebody else. Even if you don't like comic books, you can click that link and then you can use it to buy like retro video games or handmade soaps or something, right? There's everything on Whatnot. And if you do, it's going to give us a $5 kickback too. So appreciate it. Dylan says, I miss October Free Comic Book Day. Yeah, it's not officially a thing. We still do it every year though. And we call it Spooky Free Comic Book Day, which I always thought was a better name anyways. YouTube. I put a lot of work into the YouTube channel. Please check it out. We're up to like 52 subscribers now. About to be famous. But yeah, so like every Thursday night, Selena and I do playthrough, usually her first playthrough stuff. We'll probably be finishing Resident Evil 8 tonight. We're getting close to it. So we do that every Thursday night, and then I cut the gameplay videos down. So I cut like hours and hours and hours of footage down into like 20 minutes of just jokes. So basically you get just the jokes and just our reactions to things, and like enough that even if you haven't played the game, you can kind of see the story, and then you can kind of experience stuff without having to watch hours and hours and hours of it, right? We also have raid messages. They look like this if you're not subscribed, and this if you are, right? And whoop. See. Da 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 da. All right, and we're gonna go saying hi. We're gonna go say hi to Nex, who's playing Expedition 33. A game that I know we were talking in Sam's chat about yesterday. A bunch of people were really excited about. This will be my first time seeing any of it. We're gonna head over that way. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Be honest, be kind, be useful. Live a good fucking life. We really appreciate all of you for hanging out for this. We'll see you tonight when we're doing some streaming and hanging out. Thanks for streaming the convo. You're welcome. Thanks so much for the raid, Addo. You're a good human. Appreciate your existence.